Uh-oh, okay, connection went, but now it's back. Hi, friends, I'm Terry Stewart, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, located in the U.S. in Central Maryland. So I'm really excited to be in my craft room and stamping live with you today. It's been a while. For the last couple events, I have been away, but today I'm here stamping live. I have a fun fold featuring a bundle from the new mini holiday catalog, so I'm really excited to jump in. I'm going to move the camera. If that makes you ill, look away now because the camera's moving, and as it moves, everything jumbles and jerks, and you see my ceiling, my big head, my big light, and then we can get to my workspace, hopefully. Okay, I think we're there. You can see the bundle I'm working with. As I told you, it is from the mini catalog. It's called Words for the Season. As I'm getting myself all together, say hi if you're watching live. If you're watching on replay, well, welcome. I'm glad you found me. And I hope you like my presentation. Okay, there's got my laptop going. And let's cut down the sound. Okay, perfect. Yes, perfect. Oh, what's this? I got some kind of message popping up. There we go. Okay, Nancy's here. Hi, Nancy. Glad you could make it. So this is my bundle, Words for the Season. And it does have all the words for the season. It has wishes and greetings and happy. Then it has for other seasons, you have Halloween here. The words, you have a happy and there's a new year. So this would be an excellent sentiment to say, to send for a New Year's card. Got Christmas. We have Thanksgiving, grateful for somebody, and another holiday sentiment here. And cherry wishes, it's just cheery, not cherry. So this is the words that coordinate these dies. We're going to use oh my gosh, the Christmas one. Did I lose? Oh, okay. So I cut this earlier so you wouldn't have to watch me cut, but there's a little tiny dot. Can you see that that goes with the I in Christmas? And I thought I had lost that, but I did not, so that's great. I did lose the C, but that's big enough that I can see where it went. Okay, so we'll just put that there and hopefully I won't lose it. And we're going to use this die, which also matches the cheery wishes and the greetings, which I'm going to use. So those are two dies. Oh, let me show you the rest of this. I should show you my card. Well, the card that I'm going to work on today. It is a fun fold. Here we go. So there's the greeting from the stamp set, and there's some die cuts. So this is the little banner I just showed you, and then we did the words, the Christmas, and then I'm going to show you a tip for using your die to create a layer for that. So let me show you one other thing before I jump in, and that is this beautiful paper. So this is the Traditions of Christmas Specialty DSP in the mini, and it is beautiful. So it's specialty because it has gold foiling, but it has these lovely poinsettias, all different colors. It has some patterns on it, and then the reverse side, you can see the gold foiling, and it's just beautiful. I hope you can get a glimpse of it. You can see how gorgeous it is. Yes, so I'm very pleased with this. I've been making cards, and I will continue to make cards throughout the coming months, right up until Christmas. So let me set that aside and bring in my supplies. So there's my card, there's my dies, and here are my supplies. And Shirley, if you caught her demonstration just earlier, she talked about the PDF. There is a PDF that goes with this event. All you have to do is ask the demonstrator who invited you to the event for the PDF, and it will have a photo of each project, a focus, a close-in picture, as well as supply list with cutting measurements. So for my card, I've got Secret C, Pretty in Pink, and Real Red. So these are just scraps that I'll be doing some die cutting with. I have two beautiful patterns from that Traditions of Christmas DSP. I have a piece of, oh, I just realized I need my paper trimmer. I'm going to have to go grab that. So this is a pretty piece of Pretty in Pink. It's 4 by 5¼ inches or 10 by 14.4 centimeters. And then I have a half sheet of Real Red, and this is 4¼ by 11 inches. My metric friends, let's see if I can get this right, 10.5 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. Anyway, get that PDF. It'll be all accurate, all the measurements. Let me go and get my paper trimmer since I left that on the other side of the room. Just a moment. Be right back. Okay, I have it in hand and I am back. So, let us get started. Oh, my friend Susan is back from her travels. Glad to see you. Well, see you virtually. So this is a half sheet cut on the short side in half. I'm going to score it. Let's pull this down a little bit so you can see. I'm going to score it at 5.5. My metric friends, you will be scoring at 14.9. So let me score that. And then I'm going to cut 2 3/4. And it doesn't matter which side because you can fold either end. But 2 3/4. Metric friends, go see the PDF because I can't do that in my head right now. Although it's probably like 7.5 centimeters, but don't quote me on that. All right, so now we can put my paper trimmer aside and we can do, so the way this card works is now that you've cut it, I'm going to fold that so our flap is on the left. We're going to add our DSP, so layer it up on the piece we cut off and on that flap on the left, and then it's going to fit like this. And that is our piece of Pretty in Pink. It just slides right in there. We'll use these for die cuts. So that's how the card is going together. So put that aside and let's do some stamping. This is the piece that we are die cutting with the words Christmas, the word Christmas, which I've already done. I did that ahead of time just so you wouldn't have to watch me. And there's that little dot on the eye, and I know I'm going to misplace it. So I was trying to keep it inside the die. So let's try to do that. And these, this is what I'm going to show you my trick, and we're going to heat emboss on this. So let me bring in the greetings because that's what we're doing on this banner, and my Versamark because we'll be doing some heat embossing. Let me set this aside so I don't lose it. Set that aside. Okay, and set that aside. So I have this embossing additions kit. It's on the online exclusive, so check that out. It does not come with embossing powder, but it does come with a cute tray, a brush, reverse tweezers, and the embossing buddy. So I am going to use the embossing buddy. It takes the static out of your cardstock. So when you are embossing, your powder, your embossing powder will only remain on the embossing powder, will only stick to the ink. That's what I'm trying to say. So Versamark, this is a watermark ink. So it's clear, but it's thick. It's not a water base. It does not dry quickly. It takes a few minutes. So I'm going to just stamp right here in the middle of my red cardstock. I'm going to give it a press for a few seconds, maybe 5-10 seconds, just enough so that the ink will transfer. And then I'm going to bring in a scrap of paper. Well, actually, I'm going to use my embossing tray. Remove these, and if I can do this in a prudent way, I'll just go right over the words. Now this is old packaging. This is not the Wow embossing powder that we currently have, and I am trying to use up all my embossing powder so I can get the Wow brand. From what I understand is that the granules are much smaller, so once it heat embossed, it gives you a very smooth emboss look. So let's put this to the side, and I'm going to use my, I don't think I need my brush because we used the embossing buddy, so there's not any extraneous embossing powder. But I am going to use my reverse tweezers to hold this and bring in my heat tool. Now my heat tool, it's all tangled up. So this is not a this is not a hair, what am I trying to say? You know, the thing you dry your hair with. It's not a hair dryer. It is a heat tool. It gets very hot, like over 400 degrees. I mean, it'll burn you. So, let it warm up. And then once it warms up, you put it over where the powder is, and you wait till the magic happens. You can see that powder starts to melt, and once it's melted, you move on to the next section, because you don't want to be in one spot too long, because it will burn, and when it burns, it flakes off, so you won't have any embossing then, so we don't want that. Now I'm going to set this aside for a minute while it cools, and I'm going to show you how to clean the Versamark off your photopolymer stamps. And the reason you want to do that is because it's not a water-based ink. Putting it on your chamois, which is just water, is not going to clean it. So we need to use Stampin' Mist. And this is a very old bottle, and I just use it because it's handy. I buy the big bottles from Stampin' Up, and then I transfer it to the small spritzer bottle. So I put the Stampin' Mist cleaner right on top, and then I'm going to rub it on the stamp cleaner on the wet side and then the dry side, and that removes the Versamark. Alright, so let's put that back where we found it, and now the last bit of stamping. So I'm going to stamp with my Secret C. This isn't in color, and I am stamping on this piece of Pretty in Pink with the May Your Holiday Season Be Filled with Joy and Happiness. So I've placed it on my block so that it's parallel to the edge of the block. That means that when I look at it, my sentiment is a little crooked. The sticker is crooked, but not on the block. And I want this right in the middle of the page, and let's see what we get. Hold that down for a few seconds, and perfect. Okay, now we are done stamping, and we're going to move on and do some die cutting. So this piece is now dry, and I'm bringing a tissue and just rub off any of that embossing buddy, and it'll take all of that away. And now we can do our, there goes my paper trimmer trying to slide away. So I'm going to open my mini cut and emboss, my plates, you put those in, and I am staggering them a little bit so that it'll go through easier. So put 2 plates. Put plate number, maybe I should do it this way you could see. Plate number 1, plate number 2. Laying down our greeting. And I am going to use a post-it note to hold this in place so that it will not slide while we're going through. So let's see. Trying to make sure that the top and the bottom of the die matches over the sentiment. So I think we'll go there. We're going to get plate number 2. And now we're going to crank this through. Hopefully, I'm going to jostle the camera too much. Well, my stamping mat is sliding around a bit, but I think it's okay. So put this to the side, fold up my little mini cut and emboss, and pick up the paper I just dropped. There. Oh my gosh. Sorry for the jiggly camera. Nancy, there's the Wow. Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about the Wow embossing powder, so I'm really looking forward to finally getting my hands on some. Yes, embossing never gets old. Heat embossing. All right, so let's go back, take off the sticky note, and there is our greetings. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's get, so one last thing I wanted to do is show you my tip for making a layer for this die cut. So I'm going to take a pencil, here we go. So I have this scrap, and where did I put my die? Okay, here it is. And that little dot on the eye has come out again. There's a C. So to make a layer when it doesn't come with the die, we're going to make our own. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to trace my die onto the cardstock, go all around. Hopefully you can see. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of in the neighborhood to give you a guide to cut this out. So there, go. And then using our paper snips, so I've done one before and I've halfway cut it out. You can see it's a similar, same thing. And then I'll just use my paper snips to finish this off. And hopefully this will not take but a second, just following the tracing lines, keeping my scissors going in one direction, and then I'm steering the cardstock with my left hand. If you're left-handed, I guess you just do it the opposite way. I don't know, I'm not left-handed. My friend Chris could probably fill me in more on how to do this on the lefties. So if you're a lefty, leave a comment below if this technique works just in reverse, or you have any other suggestions for making it work. So we're almost done. Coming up here to the end. All right, so now we have our mask, and you do need to take an eraser. Now this pencil has a white eraser, which really works well. So if, I don't know if a red eraser works as well, but the white one definitely does. And then you're just going to go around and erase your pencil marks, and we're going to have a lovely mask here in just a few moments once I get all the pencil off my self-made mask. Woo, there we go. Okay. And now we can glue on our words. And you're going to see it's going to help you. The mask will help you put this down. Because it's so kind of thin, the letters, let's see, where's my pokey tool? My take your pick tool is also my favorite pokey tool. And you can see that this just fits right along, makes a great mask. So let's glue this down. And with using liquid glue, you just want a little bit, not a lot. Less is more. I think it might be clogged. I should have cleaned this out before I started. You know, the things you think about and then don't get to, right? All right, let's see. I don't want to push too much because I don't want too much glue coming out. Oh. I think it might be clogged, but all right, let's take pokey tool number 2 and see if we can clear this out. Because you know what's going to happen if I squeeze too hard, it's going to glop out, just like I told you, be careful not to do, right? Do as I say, not as I do. Isn't that how it goes? All right, so just a little bit of glue, not too much because we don't want it to squeeze out, ooze out from underneath. All right. Ugh. All right. And it looks good. Let's see if we can get the rest of this without doing a glop. Oh, there. Maybe is that it? Is that the clog? Yep, that was it. See? Knew it was in there. And now it is coming out. So let's just try not to get too much, because we don't want it to ooze out underneath. All right, so we gotten it all the little pieces. Anybody else feel my pain? The struggle is real, right? Yeah, the struggle is real. Okay, and now we have there. Oh, it's sticking to my finger. No, 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 no. It's stretching out. There we go. Ah, hallelujah. Okay. Ow. And it's still running out. So I'm going to take my pokey end of my take your pick. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right where I want that circle to go. Take your pick, pick it up, and I'm going to set it right on top. And there we go. Whew. Okay, mission accomplished. Oh, hallelujah. All right, let's get to assembling now. So, with our card base, I'm going to use my bone folder to crisp up that scored piece. Take this piece of DSP. So, which part do you like this red poinsettia with gold foiling, or do you prefer this green check? I really went back and forth, but I went with the bling, and you know which side it should be up here. And I decided I like the gold foiling so much on both pieces that that's the way it's going to be. That's my card, but next time you could always change that up. And then for this piece, that's too much red on red, right? It would look lovely too. You could do another die cut, do some other words, do a Merry Christmas. Across that would really pop out. And then this just gets centered on the piece of cardstock. Like so. Great. And then we're going to, we might as well do our insert now, this pretty peek. If you stick around to the end, I am going to do a brief catalog tour to show you where all these products are in the mini catalog and those that you can find in the annual catalog. Oh, guess what? This is too big. Yep, need that paper cutter again. Apparently, I did not trim it down, so all kinds of problems today. I'm sure everybody else has been there, done that, right? Got the t-shirt. So this should be 4 inches, which for my metric friends, that's 10 centimeters. And then let's see if I got the length right on that. It should be 5 1/4, which it is, which is 14.4 on my metric friends. Yeah, okay. Quick adjustment, but we power through. Let me just put some more glue on this. Again, I don't like it to ooze out, so I'm trying to put a modest amount, and a little bit of this glue, trust me, goes a long way. And here we go. So the flap is on the left, and then we'll center our layer, inside layer. Excellent. And now we're going to come down to our panel, and you want to center that left and right, top and bottom, and you don't want to glue this part to your bottom layer. So I suggest turning it over, figuring out where the glue should go, and then just keep the glue inside on that panel. So I'm trying to not stay away from that midline so you don't glue your card shut. And I don't know that this pattern has an up or a down, so that's what we're going with this. So top and bottom, right, left, center, maybe a little bit that way. Okay. And then perfect, there's no glue oozing out, so we're good to go. And I did put dimensionals, let me grab my dimensionals, behind this. So this one, I have the Christmas at an angle and the greeting banner straight across. My daughter thought it should be the Christmas at an angle and maybe the greetings at an angle too. I don't know. What do you prefer? Which way? Which way? What do you think? Any ideas? Okay. Oh, Nancy, you're with me on having to cut after you put glue on your panel because it's the wrong size. Yeah, I think everybody has done that at one time or another. So let's put some dimensionals. Ooh, that's a big one. There's 2 of them there, and that one's just the right size. We'll get one right here. Let's use a little one, mini, right there. Okay, and then on this banner, these mini dimensionals fit perfectly on this banner. They're just like the right size. I think so. Somebody is Stampin' Up must have been paying attention. I love it. Love it. Okay, so that's the dimensionals. And now we can put our greetings on. So that one's going to go at a diagonal, and I'm trying to get the same distance on the left as from the top, so it's somewhat symmetrical. You're not leaning more left than right. Let's take these dimensional covers off. Okay, so put this at an angle. So, and then I'm going to do the greetings at an angle also. And then you have to tell me which one you prefer. The banner straight as in my original, or at an angle in this version. Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? Now, I'm going to add some bling. So this is the traditional sparkling sequins. It matches the DSP. Oh, look at that. It stayed inside. These are so neat. They're so sparkly. They're so thin. They are just fabulous when you are when you need a little embellishment, because it won't poke through your envelope. And I am using gold, so I'm going to take one of these here. And I found if you put them right here in the center of the poinsettia, they're really beautiful. So let's add some more. Let's put one here in the center of that flower, and then let's use a medium one. Where should we put this one? Because I always like this 3. We'll put one right up here in that center of that flower. All right. So there are the cards. Which way do you like the banner? Straight or at an angle? You have to let me know. Yeah, Nancy says, "No, that looks great either way." Not much of a help. Okay, quick catalog tour. So this is the mini catalog. And on page 23, this is where we find that paper, the Traditions of Christmas specialty paper. And then you can see here, this is number 6, Traditional Sparkling Sequins. You get 240 of those. There's 3 different sizes. Come in real red, old olive, pool party, and gold. So I used the gold ones today. And then if we look here in the back, page 51, this is where the words for the season, you can see the banner works with 3 of the greetings, and then you get all these words, merry and happy. You can make a happy new year. I want to do that. Autumn wishes, Halloween, and that cute little banner. So that's in the mini. And then in the annual catalog, let me find the right page. Oh, here we go. Page 131. This is where the Versamark is. And on the next page, page 133, this is where the embossing powders, those wow embossing powders, and I did use the white. Although I think the gold would look just as well with this paper. And then on page 137, we have Secret C. That's what I did my die cutting with. The cardstock and the ink. And the ink color from last year, that Pretty in Pink, that's the cardstock I used. And then if we turn the page, page 139, this is where you'll find the real red cardstock. So that was a quick catalog tour. Thank you so much for joining me. Nancy is up next with her presentation, and then Diane will follow her on the half hour. And then tonight, we have our Australian friends. I know Julia's going live. I'm not sure exactly what time. Check the schedule that Shirley has pinned. Get with the demonstrator who invited you to the event and ask for that free PDF. There are a lot of specials going on this month with Stampin' Up, so really check out what your demonstrator is telling you. There are refreshes to the last chance list. There are new kits. There are join specials that's fabulous. There's a sale coming up next week. That's a sneak peek. What else is going on? Oh, they got craft classes going on. Stampin' Up is doing its first virtual online streaming class. Ask your demonstrator about that. There's an advent calendar. I mean, there is lots going on in October. Get with your demonstrator. So I'm going to sign off now and get ready to watch Nancy. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here for this share fair and let me share my card with you. And then until next time, remember, stamping is fun. Bye.